Hello everybody, this is Astocky here, and as you can see, I'm playing EuroTruck Simulator 2. Basically, what has caused this is the Toffman. Part of the Astocky team, Haighyorkie. I watched a video of him playing this game. I'd seen it advertised, to be honest, but I never really thought I'd check it out. Now, I've seen it, I've tried playing it, I'm mostly addicted to it. So I'm going to start a whole new company. I played the demo. Now for those of you who might not be sure if you like this game, there's a free demo available that pretty much has the entire game. It just limits you after about 3 or 4 hours of gameplay, so you can really get a good feeling for whether you like it or not. But anyway, I'm going to set things up. As you can see here, I have one mod, the realistic physics mod. It changes gearbox ratios and how trucks handle, and it also turns off the speed limiters. I don't think I'm meant to turn off the speed limiters, because I'm pretty sure that by law all trucks in Europe are required to have speed limiters. But whatever, you know, let's go without limiters, and if I don't like it, I'll tweak that later on. I've had a bit of a look at the profiles. I'm not super sure who I like. Some of them look pretty douchey. Some of them look like, yeah, look at me, I'm a trucker. Some of them look like gangsters. This guy here kind of looks like he knows something that nobody else does, so I'm picking him. Obviously male, me, Astocky. Got to enter a name for my company. Astocky Trucking Limited. Nah, we need a name that's gonna inspire fear. Let's have a look at the logos and we'll pick a name that goes with the logos. There's not that many. Yeah. That looks a lot like... Yeah, there we go. Fireball Truckin'. Cop that. Definitely English. Now, if preferred truck design, I can be a DAF, an Iveco, a MAN, a Majestic, Mercedes, Volvo, Scania, Renault. Well, two kinds of Renaults. And what's interesting is this game, when it originally started out, didn't have the license to use any of the names, so they had to make up all the names, and you can see there's quite a few of the companies now that have actually gone and given them their real names, which I think is cool. I'm going to go for, I don't know what any of them are particularly, but I'm going to be a German company, so I'm going to go for a Majestic Mercedes truck. Okay, we can miss with all that, but I'm just going to skip the wizard because who cares. Now, I want to pick Germany to start with because I tried playing in the UK before, and I don't like the fact that I drive on the opposite side of the road than where I do here in the US. It's the same as where I drive back in Australia, but day-to-day driving here versus driving on the opposite side of the road there, and also the fact that almost all of Europe drives on the opposite side of the road to the UK. I want to pick somewhere in Europe, and I decided just here in around about Dresden is where I had some family living for a while, so I'm thinking I'm going to pick Dresden. You know what, I might even pick somewhere, maybe, I want to pick somewhere that's kind of close to a lot of other places so that it gives you a bit of variety. So I'm thinking now maybe Kassel. Sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong, I have very, very little ability to pronounce anything German. Yeah, let's go for that, Kassel. Do you want to walk through the tutorial? Heck no. Let's just jump in and see what happens. Now I'm going to have to... I guess I'll show you guys around a little bit once I get in, because clearly there's no tutorial. Welcome to the Euro Simulator. Okay, so here we are, we're in our truck. So press escape, bring up the menu, it shows you your truck. Here is you, it tells you all about you, your skills, your progress. I don't have my own preferred truck, but the Majestic Across is my preferred. You can adjust the cabin, I don't actually know what that does. Configure my lights, set up mirrors, go for some truck diagnostics. What have we got? 600 horsepower, wow. No damage to any part of it. all repairs are covered by the employer, clearly because this is an employer truck. I'm going to end up with something much less cool than this when I eventually can afford my own truck. That's good for now. Here is my company. I currently have $2 grand. You need around about $100 grand to buy a new truck, so that's not going to help me. I'm going to get 2,051 for this mission. Here is where you can access your email. When you're playing it yourself, you can come in here and you can set up your music player, load your own MP3s in and play them, or you can get live radio feeds from different countries. So, Czechoslovakia, Belgium, DK I believe is Denmark. I don't know what EST is. FR is France. Again, don't know what INT is. NL I'm sure is Netherlands. So there's lots of different places you can get them from. But in fact, I'm going to go to options and see if I can turn down the audio a bit. Music off. There we go. No. Okay. Music off. Let's try that and see how that goes. So now we're going to get driving. Once you basically get in, it'll tell you what your mission is. So you can see here on the right hand side, I'll pause it so I can use the mouse cursor. Over here we have the route advisor. I'm currently in reverse gear. I got a full tank of gas, it looks like. I'm not tired, don't have any emails. Here's the compass, which tells me where I am and where I need to go. I'm here, so I need to come out of this car parking lot and then go that way. I got 120 k's to drive. Currently carrying 18 tons of car parks to go to Dortmund. No, they've got to go from Dortmund to Transinet. They're expected today between 10:15 and 4:50. That's not too bad. Time remaining 6 hours. 11 hours till I need another break. That doesn't matter when you're doing these kind of jobs, but once you actually start the jobs where you have your own truck and you have to drive around to find jobs, it becomes really important just how tired you make yourself. So currently undamaged, which is good. You can push that button to call for assistance if you break down. No messages. Well, let's press E to fire the engine up. Oops, unpause. E, fire the engine up. So you basically look around with the mouse. You can see that when I turn to the left, I actually wind the window down. You can sort of see it quickly. There we go. The window's going down, and then I've got my head out and can look around. That's pretty useful for reversing. I'm going to try and play this as seriously as I can. So I think that's where I've got to get out over there. I'm going to try and play this as seriously as I can. So we've got, I think that's a high beam, regular lights, parking, normal, off, flash the high beam. You got indicators, windscreen wipers, a bunch of other things that I'm hoping I'm not going to need for a while. You've also got a gearbox. Okay, I need to change that option. We've got heaps of graphical settings, but I'm just running in a 1280 by 720 window because it's good for recording and it makes the dials easy for people to read on YouTube. And I've just cranked everything up to full. But what I want, I think, is gameplay. English, simple automatic. We want realistic automatic. I've basically got to select drive, neutral, reverse, or park, and it does everything else. 24-hour clock notation, fatigue simulator, steering auto center. I'm driving with a keyboard, so it's going to be kind of a little bit sucky. Oops, what just happened? What did I change? There we go. We want realistic automatic. Okay, so currently in neutral, so we've got drive, neutral, reverse. So I'm going to bang this thing and drive, and you can either drive with the arrow keys or with the W, S, A, and D. Now, I'm using the mouse with my right hand because I'm right-handed. I'm going to have to invert that mouse because that's going to drive me crazy. I had all these set up previously. Nope, darn it. Got to stop clicking that button. Okay, so there we go, that's better. So, whack it into drive, start things moving. Don't want to jackknife this thing too bad, so I've got to come out this way. watch our mirrors, watch the back of the truck. Get really nervous whenever I do this. Seems to have a bit of bounce to it that I'm not super happy with. But here we are anyway. Okay, we now got to stop. Indicate right. Watch out for traffic. Okay. Oop. Sorry, I've got to indicate left. Bit of traffic there, come on. Here we go, going left. Pulling out nice and wide. There we go, so now where am I heading? Need to turn right up here at these lights, it looks like. And get a bit of a feel for this. Yeah, this is definitely just a little a little too underdamped for the suspension. It might look cool to be kind of bouncing around and stuff, but the suspension is not this loose in trucks. Oh, so indicating right, coming out, swinging wide, trying not to stop. Don't want to hit anything. Excellent. Okay, so where are we heading? This way. So I need to find a speed limit sign. I'm currently doing 35, 40 kilometers an hour. Now, I'm planning on, if you guys are interested in this, I'm planning on doing either like a different kind of simulator video each week, or I can continue this series if you guys want to see how well I can do with this, because at the moment I'm driving somebody else's truck, but once you get, I guess you'd call it enough street cred, that banks start to take you seriously and other people start to take you seriously, then you can buy your own truck, and then you have to start maintaining your own fleet of trucks, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. What is going on here? I mean, clearly we had the green light. There we go. Pulling out in the traffic. I forgot to indicate, but that's whatever. It's not my truck. So it says down the bottom right hand corner here that I've got 118 kilometers to go, an hour and 54 minutes, and I'm estimated to get there at about 12:07. Thankfully this game is a little bit easier than that, and it doesn't really accelerate time, but when you get out on the highway and the major stretches of highway, the kilometers seem to tick over faster, and so its calculated time seems to tick over faster. It's not... Oh, I really should have seen the speed limit before I just came barreling out here and got myself up to 75. Up a bit of a hill too, so it's taken a while to speed up. But, I mean, the game, it seems like it's a huge amount of fun. I really am a sucker for simulators, and I've got a bunch of other ones that I've been playing recently. Trains 2010. There's a sign there, what's that say? Don't know what those things are doing. I just have no clue. Oh, never mind, I'm just going to keep driving and just hopefully not get a speeding fine. So yeah, I guess the way this works, like with most of these kind of games of kind of management, is that you start off with not very much money. You got to earn some money. You get some money, you get a truck. You can start to do your own missions using your own truck, where you make a bit more money, where you got to kind of weigh off fuel and other different things like that. Wow, I got up to 100. Yeah, because I got the speed limiter turned off. I think these trucks are meant to be speed limited to 90. But you really can get a whack of speed up when you're going downhill. The problem is I think that truck in front of me is going to be speed limited, so might have to just tap on the brakes just a touch here to bring my speed down. So you can see I've already done 50 odd minutes worth of driving in about 5 minutes, so it does go much quicker than it would seem in terms of the long driving, but it's still kind of fun and challenging, and you've got to pay attention to the road, and you've got to once your driver starts to get tired, so once your hours clock, I mean it's 10 o'clock at the moment, but if I was to drive from here to somewhere in northern England, you know, until 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, he'd start to get a bit fatigued and need to take a break and have a bit of a rest, and you've got to manage your petrol. So at the moment I've got plenty. I've got, you know, half a tank worth ish. You can see the gauge down the bottom left hand behind the speedo. Yeah, I got a bit less than half a tank. But because someone else has given me this truck, they've given me enough to get me where I need to go. So this is kind of like an intro to learning how the game works without the responsibility of managing your own fleet. Clearly it gets tougher and more challenging as you go on, but for now anyway, it's good fun. I also have some other ones that I'm going to kind of, if you guys are interested, I'm happy to play this. If you guys are not interested, that's cool as well. I'm still probably going to play this, I just won't record it. But yeah, it's a real lot of fun, this game, at least from what I've seen of it, which is only, you know, watching Haighyorkie play and then checking out some videos on YouTube and then just messing around with it myself yesterday and the day before. But yeah, there's also the Trains Simulator, which is a train simulator, which is pretty cool. I like it. It's not the most realistic train simulator ever, but it's definitely a lot of fun and something I've enjoyed playing quite a lot. And then I also have an add-on for Microsoft Flight Sim called Cargo Pilot, and that's very similar to this, where you start off with your own plane, and your basic idea is you got to, you know, select certain cargoes, fly to certain places, land, you know, do the maintenance on your plane and maintain your own kind of air cargo operation. And then as you start to make more money, you start to build up more cash, you buy bigger planes, you can eventually get yourself flying, you know, 747 freighters after starting off in Cessnas. So it's a lot of fun, but you know, some of the flights are, you know, 4 or 5 hour flights, and you can kind of accelerate time up to, you know, 4 or 5, but you can't really accelerate time a huge amount. So, you know, each mission, each flight really, you know, might only earn you $2,000 or $3,000, and it might take you a couple of hours. So it really is a huge amount of work. And I'm also, because of the way it works, you open up an application, set it all up, configure your missions you're going to do, and then it loads Flight Sim for you. Now because of that, oh, got to turn left here, so I better start paying attention. Yeah, because of the fact that you have to do kind of so much loading up and so much configuring things. Go across all the traffic, line things back up. Don't hit that car at the back of my truck. Perfect. Yeah, because of you know, you sort of configure it, get it all going, and then it launches Flight Sim. That kind of switching in between windows, I'm not sure how the recording will take that, so I'm not sure if it's going to work at all. But you know, definitely that's something that's definitely worth checking out. It's by Just Flight, is the name of the company, and it's called Cargo. Dortmund discovered. It is called Cargo Pilot. Now there's some other ones called like Airliner Pilot and things like that allow you to basically start off as a lowly pilot in an airline and progress up until you're a senior captain flying one of their top aircraft, that kind of thing. And I mean, they're all heaps of fun. I just love simulator games, so if you guys can think of any good simulator games you'd like to see me play, they're probably not going to be Let's Plays, because I know simulators aren't everyone's thing. They're not super actiony. Like even this one, oh, discovered a recruitment agency. I believe I'm going to be turning right just here, so indicate on. Kind of crawling around the corner. Up on the curb just a little bit, but that's fine. Didn't hit any signs, didn't hit any people. Okay, green light for me. Also means green light for them. So yeah, definitely handy to be able to have your hand on the mouse so that you can keep looking around. And this is going to become super clear in about 2 seconds when I have to drive in here and I have to actually park this truck. Now, I've laughed at a lot of other people watching how they reverse park trucks in this game. You can just press enter to skip it, but I'm going to try to not have to do that. I'm going to try and see if I can park it properly. Okay guys, well I'm not totally sure what happened then, but I had a blue screen of death crash and some of my video file got corrupted. So what I'm going to do is just kick this off, get this running, and I guess I'll see where I was up to before it crashed, and hopefully I haven't lost too much of the time that I had recorded. And okay, looks like I was just where I was turning off the major highway, so oop, put it into gear. Let's go. You don't. Well, I don't know how much I lost. I'm guessing. Well, I'm sure that it's some. So sorry about that. Sorry if it looks a bit disjointed. So I'm gonna have a bit of a look at the video file. I know at least part of it's corrupted. I recorded 20 minutes, and I had a quick look at the video, and it looked like it was only about 13 minutes. So. But I was well past here anyway. But I guess what I was attempting to say, I think, is that I'm interested in playing some simulator games. If you guys are interested in watching me play them, if you guys have any that you can think of that you'd like to see me play, that you'd like to see me check out, happy to have a look at whatever you guys are suggesting, whatever you guys would like to see. Probably going to want to slow down a fair bit here. Discovered a recruitment agency. See, I passed all this stuff before. I know I've got to turn right here. And I believe... it's left up here, okay. So I'm not too far away from where I want to end up. But yeah, what I was... well, in the process of doing when it crashed was reverse parking. So I guess I'll get to do that reverse parking again and see how it goes this time. But hopefully you guys will have seen it, because I was talking about an add-on for Flight Sim 10 or Flight Sim X called Cargo Pilot, where you do something similar to this, except you're basically flying an airliner, or at least a cargo freight liner, and you got to manage your own plane and keep it repaired and make sure you land gently and things like that so it doesn't get damaged. I've also got Trains 2000, that's TRAINZ 2010, which is a real lot of fun if you're into trains and you're into the simulation of kind of driving. I just got it because I like steam trains. I think they're cool. There we go, good to go. And there's a bunch of other games that are just really good simulator games that I happen to enjoy. So I know DCS World is out, and it looks to be a pretty good game. So you can see the bopping up and down white thing over there. That is where I need to head to bring this truck into a park. And I've paid out on everyone I've ever watched do these reverse parkings of trucks in games, and now I'm going to do it myself. And I think this is about the point where it crashed last time, so hopefully it won't do it again. Hopefully it was just a one-off. Okay. Stick my head out the window. Yeah, it's not looking that good, so I want the back to basically go back straight and then swing to the left, which means I have to turn my front wheels to the right. Put it in reverse. No, I don't want to go that sharply. Okay. Let's go back the other way. Okay. That did not go how I planned. So, back we go forward. See if we can get this thing a bit straighter. Okay. That's looking like that's about all the room I've got. But if I can go back straight now... no, it's starting to kink, so I want a little bit of right... no, a little bit of left. Okay. That's a lot of left. So back that off a bit, want a little bit of left. Hopefully we can snag this thing around a bit. I can't see a thing about where that's going. Well, there's the park I wanted in. I'm clearly not jackknifed in half enough for that to actually be going where it's supposed to. Let's now bring this out hard. I think we might now be in a spot. Looking at my rearview mirror, I think I got this thing. Now we want to... give it a bit more to bring it around straight. Straighten it up. How are we doing at the other window? Yeah, that's looking like it's a little close over that side. Yeah, that is definitely looking a bit close over that side now. Dang! Okay, that's way too close. Forward we go. Wheels nice and straight now. Back this puppy up. There's a lot of subtlety to backing a truck up, and I have none of it. That's looking good now. Too much. I thought for sure that'd be in. Ah, excellent. In. Then you press T and we are done. Excellent result. So you can see now we get a bunch of experience and doop. Not quite up to level 1. Now basically once you get up to level 1 you unlock like an enhancement which enhances your truck company's reputation with particular areas and things that really let you do some cool stuff. This is my headquarters of my company. Pretty basic, yeah. Eventually you'll get your own truck and then you'll be cool. At the moment I have currently got 4,000. Like I said, you need about 10,000 to get a truck, so I'm a long ways off yet. You can see your progress of how you're doing for each mission. You can take some quick jobs and do other different things like that. You will also unlock a skills section which will allow you to do lots of cool things with skills. Like you can get a long distance skill, and what that means is it makes you more likely to get paid, I think, more money and get more offers for long distance jobs. You can get another skill which is like eco driving, which allows you to do a better job of basically you use less fuel for the same distance you drive, so it kind of allows you to do a bit better on your fuel efficiency. So yeah, lots of really cool things. So yeah, I love this game. I think it's fantastic. If you guys would like to see more, let me know. If you guys have some other simulator games you'd like to see me play, let me know that as well. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I can recover the segment in the middle that was missing. Astocky out.